You support Donald Trump?
Yep.
And why is that?
Well, because of he's promising to do something about the immigration.
Okay, what about it?
Well, I mean, so when you think about it, it's a civil matter when immigration is, and so it's imperative on the immigrant to do all of his paperwork, and if they avoid that paperwork, well, then it's not really like even a misdemeanor; it's just a civil infraction, and so
You're totally trolling.
I'm trolling. I'm
Yeah.
not trolling.
Not a single Trump supporter would ever mention that distinction. By the way, it is a misdemeanor. I do just want to clarify. There is a misdemeanor associated with it. There are civil infractions. It depends on how they get into the country. But no, I've never heard a Trump supporter bring up even this distinction existing.
Well, because it's the truth.
You're totally
It's the
trolling.
truth.
Can you admit you're trolling just because I know that's a reason why you're trolling. I just want to be vindicated in that reason.
Why would I be trolling? I mean, so if it's a civil infraction, then
Do you accept do you accept that civil case?
what's that?
Do you accept the civil cases against undocumented immigrants to deport them?
Well, so I could bring a civil case against an undocumented immigrant.
Yeah, and would you accept that civil case as like legitimate determination to deport them?
Um, I don't know I would.
You
I don't
would.
know if that's
So then would you accept the civil case against Donald Trump for that convicted it, that literally held him liable for it by unanimous decision of 9 jurors?
Yeah, but it wasn't a harm against me.
An undocumented immigrant coming to the country isn't a harm against you either.
Well, it could be. It could be if I could make the case, but the case was already made by.
Wait, I just want to clarify. It could be a harm to you specifically, right? In the case in which someone has been.
If I could make the case.
Yeah,
if I could make the case. If for whatever reason, whatever case I could make, it could be a harm against me, and that's the whole point about civil law.
Can't perpetuating grape culture also be a harm to you?
Say again?
Can't perpetuating grape culture also be a harm to you?
If that's a civil infraction.
No, by not accepting a determination, by not
grape culture is.
By not accepting a determination from a civil court of 9 people when you have literally no evidence to dispute it.
A civil case of 9 people.
A civil case where there's
that's already done. That was already done with E. Jean Carroll.
That's what I'm referencing.
That was a done deal with E. Jean Carroll. Okay, that's nothing about harm against me.
But dude,
that's nothing.
Hey man, now I'm confused. What is wrong with this guy?
I may be able to make a case against. What do you mean? What's wrong with me? It's just that you're tongue tied. That's what the problem is. You're getting dog walked. You're getting smoked. You're being shown what the punk you are.
What did I get dog walked on?
You're a punk. You're getting dog walked, dude.
On what point?
No, not one Donald Trump supporter would bring this up. Well, I did because I know. Okay, because I know. All right. And so that's the deal. All right. And you don't, and you're tongue tied, and you're acting stupid.
What point did I get beat on, and how am I acting stupid? What are you talking about?
Well, what point? You're sitting there. You're
and why are you mad, bro?
And I'm telling you, it's not even harm against me. But I could. But I'm saying
I'm confused how that's relevant to you accepting the case.
Of an undocumented immigrant, maybe harming me.
How's the undocumented immigrant harming you?
I mean, I might not paying taxes. If
undocumented immigrants pay taxes. In 2022, undocumented immigrants paid $100 billion in taxes.
I might be able to make the case, and utilizing the social system, the social government service system, without paying taxes.
They do pay taxes, and they do not even qualify for systems.
Maybe anything.
They don't get food stamps.
Well, I mean, how do you know?
Because they do not qualify.
Do you realize that I'm actually married to a daughter of an immigrant? Do you realize that? And her mother did nothing but get food stamps.
I'm sorry. An immigrant.
Well, immigrants do get food stamps.
What were they legal? And I'm so confused why you even said that.
You're confused. It's because you're getting dog walked.
Dude, you've got to be.
You're getting dog walked.
Why did you just randomly say that? Like,
now I'm trolling. Now I'm trolling.
it sounds like it. Yeah.
Seriously, dude. Are you, so because you're tongue tied, I'm trolling. Seriously?
No, I'm just saying, dude. What is this?
I just think that we're showing your inexperience just in living in general,
What inexperience?
just in government in general. I think that that's what's going on right now.
What
Okay.
what inexperience?
You're very inexperienced, man. Just
In
in
what?
life in general. And you're tongue tied, and you met up with a 56-year-old man that showed you the difference between right and wrong. Okay. That's what's going on.
Well, you say I'm inexperienced, but I mean, in the debate field, I'm clearly more experienced than you are. But I mean, you
Well,
can,
not right now. Not right now.
on what? On what?
You're tongue tied. Oh, on what? Now you're fishing. You're fishing.
What am I fishing for?
You just are. You don't have nothing to say. You don't. And you've got a little smirk on your face. How many of y'all?
Here, let's ask him this
W's
question.
for Parker getting dog
Master,
walked.
master,
Come on,
master,
Parker.
master. Do you think I have a real job?
This is your real job, apparently.
Yeah. Is this a real job?
This is your real job, apparently. Yeah. Just like I have a real job. And I had a real job. I'm retired, and now I have another real job.
Wait. So do you think I have a real job?
Yeah, I think you do. If you make money and you're happy doing it. Are you an entrepreneur?
I'm surprised that you do believe that. Technically,
I don't give a shit what you do to make money.
dude, you got the entire comment section spamming L guest, bro.
Huh?
You got the entire comment section spamming L guest, bro.
L gas?
L guest.
What's L guest? Oh, L guest. Oh, loser guest. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it means you lost.
It means that I lost?
Yeah, dude.
You really did. I really didn't. Parker.
MAGA grandpa takes the L. MAGA grandpa takes the L.
This is the first that I've ever. This is the most coins that I've ever gotten.
By the way, I just want to clarify. Like, dude, you know that Medicaid, Medicare, and the Affordable Care Act are getting cut. Are you on Medicare?
That is not what it says on WhiteHouse.gov.
Dude, because you're looking at the Trump source.
You believe the Democrats?
No, I actually look at the bill. You know, you look at the bill. If you look at the bill, that's what it says. Okay. The Congressional Budget Office already went over this. They're a nonpartisan committee from the federal government.
Yeah. Okay. But the WhiteHouse.gov says it's not.
What? Tell me where.
It says that that's a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale. Come on, Parker.
Where? Tell me where it says that.
WhiteHouse.gov. Go look it up.
Give me the title.
It says like misbeliefs or fairy tales about the big beautiful bill.
Why don't you go find it? Oh, is it where it says? Is it where it says fact?
It just says
false
it. I
fact.
read it the other
False
day.
fact.
I didn't,
oh, by the way, that's something.
It into my photograph.
I appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much. Would you accept a fact sheet listed like that, created by the Biden-Harris administration?
Would I accept it?
Yeah, would you accept that?
But so anyhow, we were talking about
He doesn't respond. Would you accept that if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, their administration, right, specifically, right, determined a fact sheet just like this, where they just said fact, false, right? Would you accept that information directly from their administration, or would you say you want a nonpartisan source?
Well, I wouldn't accept it from the Biden-Harris administration because they're losers. Okay, losers.
Who won in 2020?
They're losers. Admit it. Biden-Harris lost because they're loser. They came in second place. That makes them first place losers. That's funny.
What's funny?
Well, it's just that WhiteHouse.gov says that what you're saying is all wrong.
Again, you just said that you wouldn't accept that information because it's biased if it came from the Biden-Harris administration, but you will accept it if it's biased if it comes from the Trump administration.
Well, it's because they're the elected experts
by Trump, which means that they agree with Trump. They're not actually experts; they just agree with Trump.
And now they're experts.
Nope, they just agree. They just agree with Trump.
They're elected experts. Now,
no, they're not.
If Biden-Harris was to win re-election,
no, they're not. You think Pete Hegseth is a expert?
Yes, he's an expert.
Leanne, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. For ask Grandpa what dog walk means.
It means you get a choker chain around your neck, and you get drugged behind it. Yeah, that's what it means.
No, what does it mean? Community. What is it supposed to mean?
The dog walk. It means you get treated like a dog. You eat Alpo.
Means you get
You eat
treated.
kibbles. You
I
eat kibbles, Parker.
you're
Kibbles, kibbles, kibbles. Ooh, check that out. 47 coins. That's cool.
No, when someone's claiming that you got dog walked, they're claiming that they beat you in a debate, bro.
But you're eating kibbles right now. That's how bad you got dog walked.
Kibbles.
Kennel ration. That's
The
what it
the,
is.
the only the only person eating dog food is Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer. Okay, Laura
Yeah,
Loomer's
yeah, yeah.
eating dog food.
Yeah, if you don't know the story, Laura Loomer is like this MAGA show that's incredibly bigoted that literally called for the of all Latino Americans, like actually insane. But a liberal was making fun of her and did the sponsorship with her. But this is before she did all this. And she's obviously like some right wing insane lunatic that was like talking to
Okay.
Donald Trump and was close to Donald Trump. And they posed themselves as a sponsorship and then got her to try it on air, and it was dog food.
Well, that's cool. Hey, but so you can't. So I'm married to a Latina and who's of Mexican descent, and
Okay.
and I've got a very mixed, diverse family. My grandfather was Native American, and my dad was an immigrant. Family was immigrants from Italy and Germany, and my mom's family was, her dad was an American Indian, and her mom was like an Irish American. So I mean, I've got a very diverse family. I'm married to a Latina, and she has a big mixture of her family. So we have this huge mixture of ethnicities in my family. So I don't ever wish
My
anyone
my, my
any
condolences for
genocide
her.
on.
My condolences for her.
So you've resorted to insulting my wife. No, she made a
No,
good choice, man.
I never insulted your wife. I insulted you.
Oh, okay.
I said my condolences for her. Like she has to deal with you.
So you're resorting to insult, huh?
Yeah, of
That's
course.
fun. That's funny.
Like
That's
what?
funny. That's funny as hell, man.
I know. That's
Hey,
why I
hey,
said it.
Parker. You know what? You know what I'm going to say to you? I love you, man. I love you, Parker.
I
I
appreciate
love
you.
you.
Can you provide me a policy of Donald Trump's that you like?
I like the I like the
Actually, technically, it's not an insult if I do feel genuinely sorry, which I do. I actually literally do. But I
oh,
was
do
just
you? Okay.
acknowledging reality. But I guess I'm kind of insulting you.
Okay. Well, that's okay. You're entitled, bro.
Thank you.
You're entitled. You are. I mean, even though, yeah, I mean, my son's is probably maybe older than you. I don't know. He's 23. Is
Do
that
you,
older than you?
I'm 23 years old. Do you think he's scrolling on TikTok and sees this on his For You page right now? He's watching
He'll
this?
he'll he'll start laughing if he does. He'll come in here and he'll start. That's my dad. He would. He would.
Li-
Hey, look, I'm gonna show you something. I got I got the same kind of stuff. A mustache and a cowboy hat. Check that out, Parker. We looked alike briefly, man. All right. Hey, you have a good day. Okay. Love
Okay.
you, man.
Have a good day.
I don't even know.
He couldn't get off.
Happening.
And you support Donald Trump, correct?
I do.
Why so?
For many reasons, but I know a lot of people have touched on the immigration stuff, which yes, I I do definitely agree with his immigration policy, but more so on the whole transgender surgeries for minors, his policy on that, his policy on abortion, or I guess I should say his stance on abortion.
What about abortion?
Just the fact that I'm obviously definitely pro-life, and so that was kind of my question for you is, do you see where especially like religion can be a factor in all of that? Are you a Christian? Do you care if I ask about your religion?
I'm not Christian, but I do have a
Okay.
question. Do you believe
Yeah.
in separation of church and state?
Yes, as in, like, in what context necessarily?
Like, you don't think that religion is a good argument for why the law should be a certain way?
No, it's hard because as a Christian, like, I do believe that, I would love for Christianity to be, I don't know, I guess it has to do, that one's a little gray for me just because of the fact that there are so many religions that I don't think necessarily that should go into lawmaking. However, that is why I am pro-life, is because of my religion. And so do you think that plays a big factor into why people believe what they do and why they vote for who they vote
Well,
for?
you can think abortion is wrong, right? But like, why do you think it should be illegal?
Because I do think it's of an unborn human being.
Okay, so that seems to not be a religious motivation.
Well, but it is to as the aspect of, like, I feel like people who are pro-choice, they always use the argument of it being a fetus and all this stuff, and that it's not um, a human being yet, and all that.
Yeah.
So
Like, I have a question. Like, like if a zygote was going to stay a zygote forever, a single cell organism, life at conception, would you say it's valuable? It's never going to turn into a person like you or me. It's going to stay a zygote forever.
but that's not even technically a good point to make, just because of the fact that that doesn't happen.
So in petri dishes, right, you can cause a zygote to exist through IVF, and actually,
Of
plenty of the
course.
zygotes are either like they're terminated, or they're just discarded, zygotes and embryos that are used specifically in order to determine whether or not like they can like produce a kid essentially. So then here's essentially my question: is do you think IVF should be banned because it facilitates systemic murder, under your view?
No, I don't think IVF should be banned.
Well, that's contradictory to your view because there are people that are under your view, embryos and cellular organisms after conception, right? They're people that are being under your view.
Those are, but the thing is the difference is the fact that it is in a woman's stomach, and they are obviously creating those zygotes to be able to have a baby.
I'm
The people
confused.
that are going through IVF,
What do you mean?
like, why? What's their goal of going through IVF?
What's their goal of going through IVF? To be able to have a
Yes,
children. And like, what do you mean in
correct.
the stomach?
Like I'm saying, you're talking about the actual um, zygotes that are created that are still in the petri dish, correct?
Yeah, like they'd be implanted into the uterine wall,
For
like to
sure.
cause pregnancy.
Yes. That's what I'm, and so I don't think that they should be,
Yeah, but
like, I
like
don't,
they are discarded in the IVF process. So under your view, that is correct. So any person who's engaging that process, they're engaging in mass murder.
but they're not if their goal is to, for ultimately for that to turn into a baby. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't. Clarify.
Like, I don't know how to clarify. They're going through IVF to become pregnant. So if they insert the zygote and it doesn't become a baby, it's not because they aborted it. They were trying to have a baby. But natural causes obviously happen to where maybe it didn't take or whatever. But it's not like they're physically aborting it. Their goal is to have a baby.
Okay, but no, they're intentionally discarding all of the zygotes and embryos they don't use.
In the petri dish, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, is like, but their goal is to create a baby. So like,
With one of them, not with all of them.
right, but the one that's going
But like
in,
under your view, it's a person and a human being after conception, correct?
correct.
Okay, if it's a person after conception, well then you're saying that this is systemic because they're discarding human beings and people. So you think it
Yeah,
should be
and that's
banned
where
because
I
it leads
just,
to the systemic discarding of human beings.
no, and I totally understand your point, but I guess it just doesn't change my, like, it just doesn't change my opinion on the fact that I think abortion is wrong, and that I don't necessarily, like, I see how that is a gray area for sure. But you're also using a process of where people are trying to have babies. Like, unfortunately, women all over the world have a very hard time conceiving. So, like,
That's obviously why they should have access to it, and it would be ridiculous specifically to say that someone shouldn't have access to it, right? But then obviously at the
correct,
same time we can acknowledge that under your view, obviously at the
correct.
same time that you would have to consider this. because it is the case that it's discarding of human beings under your life. I clearly don't because I don't consider a zygote or an embryo to be a person. But under your view, you do consider them people. And if you do consider them people, then this clearly would be applicable.
Okay, so then I guess to kind of, but saying on abortion and all this stuff. So were you pro COVID vaccine mandate?
Yeah, during the pandemic, yeah.
So you were for a mandate.
Yeah.
So then how is that fair for you to be pro-choice, but yet you were for a vaccine mandate?
It saves people's lives who are sentient.
Okay,
it affects sentient people. And also, right, it's not much of an obligation to go out and get a vaccine. Like, seriously, to go get a vaccine is not much of an obligation. To go through a pregnancy is definitely a way, way, way harder obligation to go through. I just want to clarify that. There's a bigger distinction between the two.
Okay, but then I would definitely think that that is just as much of a just as much contradicting yourself as it is the whole,
No,
like
it's
you said.
not. I gave you two big relevant distinctions. One, it's referring to sentient beings, and two, it's in reference specifically to a significantly harsher obligation. Pregnancy is a significantly harsher obligation than going and getting a vaccine, right? You should be in. Wait, so if you're saying that's contradictory, are you in support of vaccine mandates?
I'm not in support of vaccine mandates.
Oh, so then that must be a contradiction within your view based upon your own position. You were saying that I would be hypocritical of me. Wouldn't that be hypocritical of you not to be pro-vaccine mandate?
I mean, no, not necessarily.
Why not?
Because of the fact that there's only one way you can get pregnant. So if you are doing, then you're taking the risk of being pregnant.
You're more likely to get a virus and putting everyone else more at risk if you don't get vaccinated, given that you medically can.
But that is so false with the vaccines.
What do you mean it's false? Like, that's been proven.
You are not more likely to. I did not get vaccinated at all for COVID. And actually all my family didn't. And I don't think we were any more at risk. And I've had COVID 4 times.
Well, I just want to let you know, you were at more risk. You feeling like you weren't is not good justification. I have a bibliography in my bio
I'm not,
that's 25 plus pages of peer-reviewed sources that indicate that COVID vaccines were safe and effective and did mitigate the likelihood of you getting it, the likelihood of you passing it to other people, the likelihood of you having bad symptoms that lead to hospitalization and death.
With underlying symptoms.
Wait, no, for anyone, not just people who have underlying diagnoses.
I can honestly say that some of my family who got vaccinated had more issues from the actual vaccine than COVID itself.
Well, then that would be hyper specific to the circumstances that existed, and also I would say that they likely had a better time specifically with the virus because they got the vaccine.
No, that is so false because COVID. Yes. I think it is determined like you. Can
I be clear? Like, for example, if someone's allergic to vaccines, they medically cannot get vaccinated. It would make no sense for them to get vaccinated. So doctors would indicate to them on a risk-benefit analysis not to get vaccinated. They would get a medical exception. For most people are not granted that medical exception, right, should get vaccinated because it reduces their likelihood of getting it and it reduces other people's likelihood of getting it in society. And it makes a better society overall for us to have these different types of mandates. That's why the mandates specifically within public schools have been incredibly effective at mitigating disease. And the rolling back of those has led to outbreaks of measles. It's led to outbreaks of different types of illnesses that we've eradicated in this country prior because of vaccines and vaccine mandates. So yes, I'm in support of vaccine mandates. Why? Because they actually lead to disease being reduced, and because the only reason people aren't getting vaccinated, if they medically can, is just because they're dumb. Like, realistically, that's the reason. There's no other good reason. Like, what's the reason? It's because they're dumb. So like, I don't care about freedom to be dumb. I care about society being better off as a whole, like in these types of circumstances. And it's not a harsh obligation to go get a vaccine, right? Given that you medically can, it's not a harsh obligation at all.
Yeah, but how do you know, like, for instance,
and oftentimes good people won't go out and get vaccinated just because they're lazy, right? On that certain thing, and like they should go out and get vaccinated and they know it themselves, and they don't do it because there's not mandates. You know what I mean? And the mandates push them to do it too.